Leeds are the next visitors to St Mary's on Saturday. As you said, Steve, I mean, they're doing all right. Joel Perreault as well, again, that someone we were linked with, seems to be doing all right. But I mean, Glenn, what would you like to see from the team announcement on Saturday? What's going to make you happy walking up from Ocean Village? What's going to keep you out the pub?
Nothing.
Or is it going to be 2 pints?
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I'm going to go in 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to start drinking. I don't know really. I'd like to see the defence that finished the game against Ipswich, with Ryan Manning and Walker Peters as the fullbacks. Downs and Charles. I'd like to see either Charlie Alcaraz or Stuart Armstrong as the third midfielder, and then you got the problem up front, centre forward. We're struggling. Bearing in mind he's captain now with a 100% record, it would probably be Adam Armstrong, and then you've got 2 wingers, haven't you? Ed Dozie would be one, and then I don't know who else, probably Fraser. But I don't think that the team news is going to sort of define how the game is going to go. Really, it's all about the attitude and how we perform. Do we, can we go without making mistakes at the back? Can we can we keep the other teams under pressure by playing forward and being positive? So if we let in a goal, I'd like it to be because the other team have played through us and scored a good goal. I mean, if you look at goals we've let in last 3 games, I think a vast majority of them have been gimmies. Where, I mean, certainly the two at Middlesbrough, we've given them both away. The goal against Ipswich, we gave it away. First 2 goals against Leicester, gave them away. And the 4th goal against Leicester was the joke everybody caught forward jobby, wasn't it? So I think my mood is going to be defined by how we perform on the pitch rather than the selections that he makes. But I mean, Leeds have kind of done the opposite to us. They started poorly. They had problems with players leaving, players being loaned out, players going on strike, all this sort of stuff. And then once the transfer window closed, they seem to have, I think they've won 2 and lost 1-2 and drawn 2 the last 4 games. So they've done the opposite of us, because as soon as the transfer window shut, we've absolutely fallen apart. So and they look a decent side. They've kept a couple of good players from the Premier League days, and Joel Perreault. That's I think we blew that the second we got into the compensation argument with Swansea. To be honest, because we were,
the bridges were burned, weren't they?
Joel Perreault and Nathan Wood were the 2 sort of like pretty obvious targets for us, and we ended up not signing either. So and Perreault's gone to Leeds, and he's done well. Would he have done as well playing up front for us the last 4 games? I very much doubt it. But he kind of plays as a number 9, but he also plays deeper, and that's the role that Russell Martin has got Adam Armstrong for, earmarked for. So maybe that's the reason. Maybe Perreault would have been too expensive wages wise. Maybe Ross Stewart's cheaper. Don't know. But yeah, he's gone to Leeds. He scored 4 in 4, I think, and he's certainly going to be one that we have to watch. They've got a striker, haven't they? Was it Jorginho Rutter, who they signed last season
for?
Didn't do a thing. And now they put him in the side, and he seems to be doing okay, but not scoring that many goals. But he seems to be linking their attack together quite well. So no, it's going to be a very difficult game, probably on par with the Leicester game, I'd have thought.
It's going to be huge, isn't it, Alfie? Because 5 defeats makes it very, very difficult for the manager, and there is a real possibility. I haven't seen anything in the last 7 days to make me think otherwise. We could be looking at 5 defeats in a row here.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm worried about it. I don't know what sort of long-term impact that will have, if any. But I can't see that those players going to St Mary's, not making a mistake in the first 30, 35, 40 minutes. And then I certainly can't see them responding well to that, or backing themselves and sort of getting over the atmosphere. I'm really intrigued to see what the atmosphere is, because there's going to be no patience. I think Steve's already touched on it. Glenn's already touched on it. There isn't going to be any patience this Saturday. It's going to have to be a really fast start, and we haven't really seen that. Even in the games that Southampton won, I don't think on too many occasions did they really fly out the blocks and sort of take it to the opposition. But for me, the back six is settled now. For me, it's very clear that Walker-Peters, Bednarek, Howard-Bellis, Manning, Downs, and Charles has to be the back six, so to speak. That for me is obvious. But then the four that you put in front of them, none of them really inspired me with too much confidence. I think we could be looking at a midfield with Armstrong completing that again, and then, like you say, Dozy, Fraser, and Adams, and they're not necessarily firing. Kamaldeen Sulemana, I don't want to dig out individual players because I don't think it's the right to do, but Kamaldeen Sulemana is somebody that a lot of people at the club believe is a really, really talented player, somebody who's got a lot of quality, and he is somebody who's incredibly intelligent, very quick thinker, able to pick things up. And, we sort of mentioned that Georgina Rutter lad who didn't do a thing last season, but now he's come in and making an impact. It's a big loss losing Nathan Teller, losing Ward-Prowse, losing Nathan Teller, losing these guys. Kamaldeen Sulemana, they wanted to get somebody on deadline day, another winger. They didn't manage to do it, but at least they had Kamaldeen Sulemana, ready to come in the ranks. But right now, we're not seeing anywhere near enough of him. There was one moment at Middlesbrough where there was 5 minutes to go, they're 1-0 down, and Carl Walker-Peters actually had to scream at him to move, go towards the corner kick and take the set piece. Why are you walking? We've got 5 minutes to score a goal. And that's that urgency. And I think that he's somebody who's really good. And I retain some hope about this squad and this team. And I retain some hope about the manager because I think he's a really good person. I think he's somebody who can get the best out of people. But there are individuals that have to step up. We have to see more from them if they're going to have any chance of winning a game like Leeds at home on Saturday.
They've had a pretty decent run as well, Steve. They had a good win at the weekend, didn't they? They beat was it Watford 3-0, I think.
Yep.
So it's going to be they're going to be coming in with their tails up, and they're going to fancy getting an early goal and making it a bit of a difficult atmosphere.
I think 4 games without conceding a goal as well, which we can only dream of statistics like that at the moment. 4 minutes would be a start. But yeah, it's one of those where Leeds are a side where if you can get kind of up in their faces, if you can get a lead in the game, then their fans are as likely as ours to turn on their own players. And it kind of doesn't matter what has come before it. They're more than happy to let their players know what their thoughts are, sort of at that immediate moment. So yeah, the key is to get them quiet, sort of push them back on the back foot and challenge them. But the problem I see with our system at the moment it's not even the individual mistakes, because I think over time those do probably kind of reduce naturally when you're a little bit more used to it. But the problem I have with it is the speed of it, or the lack of. Everything is done at such a slow pace that it makes it so easy to defend against, and it also means that it's really easy to defend against at a high level. Teams don't need to wait until we're 30, 40 yards from their goal before they try and press, because they know that the pass that's going through the lines isn't going to be of a it's not going to be of a pace that's going to cause any problems. Whereas what Leeds are doing, it's a very basic setup. Basically, get the ball to the wingers, run fast. And they've been scoring goals as a result of it. They've got 2 or 3 players who are capable of scoring 15, 20 goals a season. Obviously, Pirot is the main one that we know of. I think Nonto's injured now, isn't he, for the foreseeable? So he's one that we don't have to worry about, which is handy because he obviously caused us issues last season. But then I think Sinisterra is still around, is he?
No, he's gone to Bournemouth.
Oh, was he the one who went to Bournemouth?
Somerville's still around.
Somerville's the one.
They've got Jaden Anthony from Bournemouth as well.
Is he any good?
Scored the weekend, so.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that bodes well then. And of course this Rutter fella. So they've got options up front, and they've got quite a bit of variety amongst them, which unfortunately we don't really have. We've got basically Shay Adams is going to play through the middle, and for a bit of variation, Adam Armstrong might do. Other than that, what other options are we presenting here at this stage? Ross Stewart isn't going to be available to play until presumably after the international break at the earliest. So it does kind of call into question the sort of rationale behind pursuing that signing rather than just kind of sort of taken the humble pie of having to go back to the negotiating table with Swansea.
Let's get some score predictions for the weekend. I'm keen to see if anyone wants to predict that we're going to get a clean sheet. I can see a repeat of the weekend, to be honest. I can see us losing 2-1. Glenn, do you want to go first?
No. I predicted us to win every game this season, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Let's be mildly optimistic that we're not going to get thrashed again. I'll go for a 2-2 draw.
Wow.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Alfie?
Yeah, like, I just want to sort of make an appeal before I do it. That I do believe that that things will get better. They may get worse before they get better. I'm quite confident in that. I think there are some good players in the squad. I really do, and I think you've got championship winners in the squad, at least one. Maybe it is only one. And I hope when Ross Stewart comes back, it does add another dimension. And things, if they click, can look brilliant. We saw Swansea, but this weekend, I'm feeling a little bit worried about this weekend. I must admit, I think that if anything goes wrong very early on, it could be quite a difficult place to play football in. And I'm not sure about what sort of response we're going to get. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Leeds, but I do still back this team.
But so you're saying with the caveat that it's going to get worse before it gets better?
Yeah.
And then, okay, fine. Steve?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Alfie on that front. I struggle. I mean, after standing through that 90+ minutes yesterday up at the Riverside, I find it very difficult to raise any sort of confidence that this group of players has got it in them to turn it around immediately. So I mean, I think we might score, but not with any great deal of confidence. 3-1 Leeds,